Welcome and thank you for joining me. Today we are taking things back to the roots of my training and doing a purely Hatha sequence. We will take our time in each asana to build strength and focus on correct alignment so that you can develop your practice safely and mindfully. It may not be the most beautiful flow, but it is certainly effective in working every part of the body whilst calming and focusing the mind. So let's get started. Begin by sitting in a comfortable seated position. Roll the shoulders back, open the chest. Sit tall, elongating the spine. Allow the hands to rest on the knees, palms up. Close the eyes. Just take a moment here to awaken within the body and connect with the breath. Begin to slow the breathing down. As we move around in our day-to-day tasks, we don't notice how short and shallow our natural breathing pattern is. Our bodies and minds constantly ready for action. Take this moment to get the breath under control as we tell ourselves that it's okay to relax. It's okay to be still and calm. To stop the multitasking and let go of the to-do lists. Slow the breath and send this message to your thinking brain. I appreciate you and acknowledge all that you do for me. But right now and for the next hour, I don't need you. Take a rest. Slow the breath further by aiming to take around 4 to 5 seconds for the inhale and 4 to 5 seconds for the exhale. As you inhale, feel the breath fill first the belly and then the chest, noticing the slightest lift as your ribs move up and away from the hips. As you exhale, allow the shoulders to hang lower and the hips to root deeper into the ground. Inhale. Feel your body grow taller as the hips press into the earth, lengthening out of the crown of the head. Exhale. Encourage the hips to open further, allowing the knees to creep closer to the floor. Notice your heart rate beginning to slow with the breath. If thoughts and distractions find their way into your mind, don't try to actively push them away. Allow them their space, but give them no thought, no attention, and they will gradually fade away. Take one more breath. Listen to the sounds you can hear around you, and allow the body to relax. Slowly start to bring your awareness back by taking one final inhale and exhale. And gently open your eyes to begin our practice. From seated, unwind the body to come onto your hands and knees and sit back into child's pose. Bring the hips down as close to the heels as you can. The chest drops. The arms reach long to lengthen in the spine and the head relaxes on the mat. Press into the ground, lift the body up, come into table position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Moving into some cat-cows, take an inhale, lift the chin, and exhale, tuck the pelvis, curve the spine up. On your next inhale, allow the chest to come through the shoulders, and exhale, lifting up the spine, bringing that chin round to the chest, and inhale, allow the abdomen to drop, but keep the navel engaged, and exhale. Really lift the spine as high as you can. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, coming into your downward dog. Try to straighten the legs if you can, maybe pedaling it out a little as it's our first downward dog of the day. Allow the head to hang relaxed between the hands. Maybe shake it no, nod it yes. Take the eye gaze ahead and bring the left leg forward between the hands into a low lunge. Bring the right leg to meet, forward fold. Inhale, hinging at the hips, lift the arms up high. Bring palms together, exhale, hands come down to the heart for prayer pose. Heading into our sun salutations, we begin and end always with a prayer pose. Take an inhale, lift the arms up, upward salute. Exhale, hinging at the hips with a flat back, come down into forward fold. Place the hands either side of the feet. Taking an inhale, bring the left leg back to the back of the mat. Sink the hips, low lunge. Place the hands and bring the right leg back, coming into high plank. As we lower to the ground, we first drop the knees, bend the elbows to bring the chest down, and allow the chin to rest. Slide the body forwards, inhale, lifting the upper body, come up into cobra. Exhale, plant the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward dog. Eye gaze ahead, bring the left leg forward between the hands, sink the hips, low lunge. Bring the right leg to meet the left, and forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms up with a flat back, extend the arms overhead, bring the palms together into prayer pose. Moving on to the right leg, inhale, arms reach up overhead, exhale, dive to the floor, forward fold, all the weight in the heels. Place the hands either side of the feet, take the right leg back, inhale as you dip down into your low lunge. Bring the left leg behind you into your high plank. Exhale, drop the knees, bend the elbows, drop the chest between the hands. Inhale, slide the body forwards, top side of the feet come down to the ground, lift the upper body and chin to cobra. Tuck the toes underneath, lift the hips up and back, exhale into your downward dog. Eye gaze ahead, bring the right leg forward to the front, sink the hips, low lunge. Bring the left leg to meet, exhale into your forward fold. Ground through the feet, inhale, lifting up, extend the arms overhead, exhale into your prayer pose. As we begin to move quicker through our sun salutations, really try to connect with the breath and move with each inhale and exhale. Inhale, arms come up high. Exhale, folding down, chest to knees. Place the hands on the ground either side of the feet. Bring the left leg back and sink into your low lunge. Bring the right leg to meet. Hold the plank, hold the breath. This time lowering the body down, Chaturanga Dandasana, four-legged staff pose. Inhale, lifting up to cobra. Plant the toes. Exhale, hips come back, downward dog. Take the eye gaze ahead. Bring the left leg forward between the hands. Lift the chest. Bring the right leg to meet. Exhale into your forward fold. Hinging at the hips, flat back. Inhale, raise the arms overhead. Exhale, prayer pose. Inhale, reaching up, feel the shoulders stretch. Exhale, diving down, all the way in the heels. Place the hands, take an inhale, bring the right leg back, low lunge. Hold the breath, left leg meets the right, high plank. Choose your option to lower, knees, chest and chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale up to cobra. Plant the toes. Exhale, up and back, downward dog. Sending the knees behind you, straightening the legs. Eye gaze forward. Bring the right leg between the hands as you inhale. Exhale, left leg comes forward, forward fold. Inhale with a flat back, reaching the arms up. Bring the palms and fingertips to meet, lower the hands into prayer. Let's increase the speed and increase the heat. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, diving down, forward fold. Place the hands. Inhale, left leg comes back, low lunge. Hold the breath, right leg to meet plank. Lowering down for your exhale. Allow the top side of the feet to rest. Inhale to cobra. Plant the toes, press the body up and back. Exhale, downward dog. Eye gaze forward. Left leg between the hands, low lunge. Right leg to meet. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raise the arms up high. Exhale, prayer. Inhale, up high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right leg back into low lunge. Hold the breath, hold the plank. Lower the body down. Exhale. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, plant the toes up and back, downward dog. Eye gaze ahead. Bring the right leg forward between the hands, low lunge. Left leg to meet. Exhale, pull in the belly, forward fold. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, prayer pose. Inhale, rise up high. Exhale, fold, chest to knees. Place the hands. Left leg comes back, low lunge. Pull back into your plank, tuck the pelvis. Using the strength in the arms, lower down. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, plant the toes, downward dog, relax the shoulders. Eye gaze ahead, left leg forwards. Right leg to meet, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up high. Exhale, palms press into each other, prayer pose. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Place the hands, take the right leg back, low lunge. Left leg to meet, high plank. Roll the body forward and down, lower to the ground. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, plant the toes, encouraging the heels down in your downward dog. Eye gaze ahead, right leg comes forward. Left leg to meet, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, prayer pose. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back, low lunge. Hold the breath, come into plank. Exhale, lower the body down to the ground. Inhale to your cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg forward, low lunge. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up, upward salute. Exhale to prayer. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right leg comes back, sink the hips. Hold the plank and the breath, and exhale down to the ground. Inhale to cobra, peel the shoulders back. Plant the toes, exhale, downward dog. Bring the right leg forward, low lunge, inhale, exhale, forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, raise the arms up, reach out of the fingertips, exhale to prayer. Inhale, arms raise up, exhale, folding down. Inhale, left leg comes back, open the left hip, right leg to meet, hold the pose, lower the body down in your exhale. Inhale, cobra, elbows pull back. Exhale, downward dog, pressing into the heels. Left leg comes forward, low lunge, inhale. Exhale, right leg to meet, forward fold. Inhale, raising up, lift the arms high. Exhale, into your prayer. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right leg comes back, low lunge. Left leg comes back, high plank. Exhale, lower the body slowly down with strength. Inhale to your cobra. Exhale, plant the toes, lift up and back, downward dog. Spread the fingers wide. Bring the right leg forward, low lunge. Left leg to meet. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising up, lifting the arms high. Exhale, prayer pose. Begin to steady the breath. Notice how quick the heart rate is. Feel the heat from within. Every muscle group in the body thoroughly warmed up after our sun salutations. Stand with feet facing forward, hip distance apart. Lift out of the top of the head. Bring the arms up overhead, interlock the hands and turn the palms upwards. Ensure the feet are grounded down into the mat. The backs of the knees are pressed backwards to elongate and straighten the legs. Tuck the pelvis and pull the navel in. Continuing with the long and deep breathing, take an inhale. On your next exhale, draw the ribs in, pulling them into the chest. Straighten the arms as much as you can. Take an inhale and lift up high in the hands. Exhale, bring the body over to the right side. Making an effort to peel the left shoulder back to open the chest, feeling that intense side stretch all the way down the left side of the body, and staying strong on the right side, ensuring that we don't collapse on ourselves. Using the power of the breath, take an inhale and reach out of the arms, elongate the spine. Exhale, allowing the body to just go that little millimeter further into the stretch. On your next inhale, raise out of the hands, elongate the spine, and lift the body back up to center. You might want to allow the hands and the arms a moment's rest before lifting back up, and on your next exhale, leaning over to the left side. Once again, rolling back in the right shoulder, opening the chest, keeping the chin away from the chest, lengthening in the spine, feeling the strength and the heat build in the left side of the body. Take an inhale, reach out of the arms and come back to center. Allow the hands to rest. Maybe take some big circles with the arms to open the shoulders. Coming into our standing twist, place the left hand on the right shoulder, lift the right hand to shoulder height, and turn the right arm around to the back of you, keeping the eye gaze to the fingertips of the right hand. It's important that the hips stay facing the front, so really try to encourage that right hip forwards, even if it means that you don't rotate as far. Pulling the navel in, keeping the stomach engaged during your twist. Inhale, elongate the spine. Exhale, trying to turn that right hand a little further. Taking this moment to reconnect with the breath. Take another long inhale. Reach out of the crown of the head. And exhale. Begin to bring the right hand back around to the front and drop the right hand and the left hand. Bring the right hand to the left shoulder, lift the left hand to shoulder height, and take the arm all the way around behind you, ensuring that that left hip stays drawn forwards. Grounding down in both feet, especially in the left, to keep the left hip forwards. Pull in the navel, keep the abdomen engaged, and take the eye gaze to the fingers of the left hand. Taking a couple of deep breaths here as we hold the navel in. And gently bring the left arm back to center and just allow the hands to rest by the side. Continuing to stand with the feet at hip width distance, take an inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, keeping a nice flat back. Keep reaching out of the fingertips as we come all the way down into forward bend. If it's possible to grab your big toes with your index finger, middle finger and thumb, hold on to that or any place on your leg and gently bend the elbows on your exhale as you pull the body down and encourage the stretch a little deeper, always being careful and mindful with the body. Inhale, reaching out of the crown of the head. Exhale, pulling in the belly button and creating space for the forward bend. All the weight in the heels, encouraging the hips up and back, and straightening the legs as much as you can today. Release the big toe if you're already holding it, and slowly rise up back to standing. Take an inhale, raise the arms up overhead, come down into your forward fold just as you did before. Only this time, if you are able to, place all of the hands under the feet by turning the hands so that the palms are facing the soles of the feet. Trying to get the toes to touch the inside of the wrists. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, bend the elbows, suck in the belly button, dropping down into Hatha Hastasana. Keep the eye gaze at the ground just below the head, trying to stay long in the spine so we're not curling the body here. If your hands are under your feet, gently and carefully prise them out from under your toes and place them on the ground in front of your feet, perhaps pedaling the legs here before we raise back up to standing. Taking the feet slightly wider than the hips now, take an inhale, lift the left arm, raise it up and slide the body over to the right, coming into a side stretch. As we inhale into the left side of the ribs, feel them expand. And as you exhale, trying to get a little deeper into the stretch. Grounding down in the left foot and feeling that intense side stretch from the left foot all the way up to the left fingertips. And on your next inhale, lift the body up and back to center. Allow the left arm to relax. Take the right arm, palm out, lift it up overhead. Exhale, lean the body to the left side, allowing the left hand just to graze down the leg. Reaching out of the fingertips of the right hand, all the way down the right side of the body and grounding that right foot into the ground, lengthening as much as possible on that side. Inhale into the right side of the ribs, feeling them expand. And then bring the body back up to center and allow the right hand to relax. Taking the legs wider now, approximately half of your mat, turn the left foot towards the front of the mat, keeping the right foot facing forwards. Inhale, bring the arms to a T. Exhale, lean the body over to the left side, ensuring that the left hip stays pushed forwards. We're trying to get both hips to continue facing forwards, whilst peeling back that right shoulder, reaching the right arm high up overhead. The left arm comes down below, trying to make a nice straight line from the tips of the finger of the right hand all the way down to the tips of the left hand. Take a long and deep inhale and exhale a little deeper into your triangle. Now take an inhale, bring the body back up to center, turn the left foot forward and the right foot to the back of the mat. Keeping the arms to a T, take an inhale, lift out of the top of the crown of the head, and exhale, lean the body to the right side. Reaching up with the left hand all the way up to the sky, eye gaze up to the fingers of the left hand, making a nice straight line all the way down the arms. Keep making the effort to turn that right hip forwards, encouraging both hips to face the front of the mat. Take another long and deep breath in your triangle pose. On your next inhale, lift the body back up and come back up to center. Turn the right foot forwards again. Keeping the feet placed where they are, turn the toes in and the heels out. Inhale, arms to a T. Exhale, with a flat back, folding down into a wide-legged forward fold. If it's within your practice, try to place your hands on the line between your feet, gripping the ground. Pull the ground towards you as you inhale and lengthen the spine, and exhale with a flat back, encouraging this fold a little deeper by pulling in the belly button and making space. Sending the knees back, trying to get as straight a legs as possible. Keep using the arms to pull the ground and pull the hips in a little deeper. If it's not within your practice today to touch the ground with your hands, you can place your hands at any point down the legs, using them as an anchor to encourage the fold a little deeper. Allow the head to hang loosely between the shoulders and try to place the weight on the front part of the feet. When we're ready to come out of this pose, place the hands on the ground, lift the body halfway up on your inhale, and exhale to come up to standing. Interlock the fingers behind your back. Inhale, reach up tall out of the crown of the head. Exhale, bowing down into your wide-legged forward fold again. This time reaching the hands overhead, getting that full shoulder stretch. Legs are still engaged, knees are pressing backwards, getting nice straight legs. Try to reach the hands forward as much as you can. If at all possible, keep the palms together rather than letting them hang loose. This is going to help your shoulders stretch that little bit further. Keep the weight in the front of the feet and let the head hang loose. Take an inhale and let that inhale lift the upper body as you find strength. Pulling up halfway, bring the hands to your hips and exhale to come to standing. Shift the body weight to the left foot, possibly placing the left hand on the hip for balance. Don't collapse and lean into the left hip. Keep it elevated away from the left foot. Slowly start to lift the right foot off of the ground, first to the top of the toe. Check your balance. Turn the right knee away from the body and feel the right hip open. Keep that external rotation, press down firmly on the left standing leg, bend the right knee and lift the right leg to place the right foot on the inside of the left leg, wherever you can get to today, possibly using the right hand to assist if coming into full tree pose. This may be at the ground, with the heel on the ankle and the toes on the ground. It may be with the foot on the calf, or you might even be able to get it all the way up the inside of the left upper thigh. Wherever you are, drive the heel of the right foot into the left leg, whilst simultaneously pressing the left leg into the right foot. Notice the right hip. If it has crept forwards, slowly peel it back as though trying to pull it behind you. Keep looking at your focal point ahead of you. Once stable in the legs, lift up through the crown of the head. If comfortable, bring the hands together to prayer pose, palms together, thumbs in front of the heart. Or if you wish to test your balance further, take the prayer pose up overhead, keeping that eye gaze in front of you. Use your inhale to find length in the upper body and exhale to ground down in the standing leg. One last inhale to lift up out of the crown of the head and exhale. Slowly bring the hands down to prayer if lifted. Release the hands and use your right hand to assist the right foot off of the left thigh, bringing the feet back to the ground, shoulder width apart. Take a breath, readjust the body weight, perhaps take the right hand on the right hip to assist with the balance. Find your focal point again. Slowly shift the weight to the right leg. Momentarily lift the left leg onto the top of the big toe. Stabilize in the right standing leg. Find strength in the foot, the ankle, the knee, and the hip. Bend the left knee and raise the foot to land on the inside of the right leg, wherever you are with your tree pose practice. Take a second to secure your foot, pressing that left heel into the right leg to stop it slipping down. Actively turn the left knee as though it was being pulled from behind you. Feel the left hip open. When you are stable, lift up high in the upper body and bring the hands to prayer pose. If you wish to take it further, press the palms into each other and slowly lift the hands overhead, trying to keep the elbows straight if possible. Take an inhale. feel the head rise up and away from the shoulders. And exhale, pull the left knee further left to encourage the hip to open more. One last inhale, reach up tall, and exhale, bring down the hands. Use your hand to assist the floating foot to come back down to the ground, and we'll meet back in Tadasana, mountain pose. Turn to face the right side of the mat and take a wide stance with the feet, approximately 3/4 length of the yoga mat. Turn the right foot 90 degrees to the back of the mat. Keep the left foot facing forwards. Inhale, bring the arms to a T position. And exhale, slowly bend the right knee, trying to get a 45-degree angle in the knee. Keep the left leg straight. Drive down on the outside edge of the left foot. Try to keep the hips facing forwards as much as you can. Peel back the left hip and press forwards in the right. Slowly lower the right arm. You can keep the elbow on the thigh if you need a little extra support. Inhale and reach the left arm up and over to the right side, allowing the right hand to reach to the ground if that's within your practice today. Eye gaze to the left hand. Keep everything from the head to the hips facing forwards, the same as the left toes. Try not to let the chest rotate towards the right foot by peeling back in the left shoulder. Take a deep inhale, feel the left side of your chest expand, and as you exhale, use your right arm to slightly open that right hip a little bit further. One more inhale, extend the left side body. And exhale, straightening that right leg, allow the left arm to come up and over, come back to your standing. Turn the right foot in towards the front and the left foot turns out towards the front of the mat. Find stability in your wide-legged stance. Inhale to a T. Exhale, bend the left knee to that 90-degree angle, thigh parallel with the ground. Lean the body to the left, maybe placing the left elbow on the left knee if needed. Reach the right arm up and over on an inhale, allowing the body to sink over towards that left knee. Keeping the body weight evenly balanced between the front and the back leg, keep driving down on the outer edge of the right foot and keeping that left knee over the left heel. Keep the hips, the ribs and the shoulders all facing forwards by sending that left hip forwards, pulling back in the right hip, and rolling that right shoulder backwards. With each inhale, reaching out of the fingertips, and with every exhale, using that left arm to ease open that left hip a little bit more. Take an inhale, straighten the left leg, lift the upper body up, and come back up to standing. Bring the feet together, turn the body to the left, facing the front of the mat again. Stand with the feet hip-width apart, toes facing ahead. Standing tall, take an inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and exhale, sitting down into your chair pose. All the weight is in the heels, bend in the knees, bring the hips down and back. Slight arch to the lower back as we pull the shoulders and the chest up and back, pressing the chest through the shoulders and forwards. Arms reach out long ahead of you, reaching out of the fingertips, engaging all of the arms. Eye gaze goes up to the hands. Last step here, pull in the belly button, engage all of the abdomen and the core, making everything strong in this pose. Take a couple of breaths here. Feel the heat firing up from within you. And inhale, come back up to standing. Maybe take a slight back bend to counter that pose if it feels good, and bring the hands in front of you in prayer. Take a deep inhale and exhale to steady the breath, and turn once again to the right side, taking another wide stance 3/4 length of the mat. Setting up the body for Virabhadrasana 1 and 2, let's begin with Warrior 1. The right foot faces the back of the mat and the left foot comes at a 45-degree angle. Turn the shoulders, the chest and the hips to the right, facing over the right knee. Begin to take a bend in the right knee, sinking the hips down. Ensure that you're equally balancing your weight between all of the sole of the front foot and the outer edge of the left foot as you drive both feet into the ground. On your next inhale, lift the arms up overhead, bringing the palms together, taking the eye gaze up to the hands, allowing the hips to sink deeper, and roll the head and shoulders back, giving you a nice lower back opening stretch. If arms overhead is too much for you today, just place the hands on the hips and really focus on getting the most out of the lower body strengthening of this pose. Take an inhale, straighten the right leg, turn the body to the left all the way so that you're facing the front of the mat now. The left foot is now facing the front of the mat and the right foot is at a 45-degree angle. With your hands on your hips, motion the body so the hips are facing the front of the mat. Take a bend in the left knee to a 45-degree angle. Inhale, lift the arms overhead, sink the hips towards the ground. Come into your warrior one on the left leg. Take a deep inhale, trying to extend the head up away from the ribs and the ribs away from the hips. And as you exhale, roll the shoulders back behind the ears and try to sink the hips a little bit lower. Take another inhale, lift the chest up away from the left knee, and as you exhale, bend the left knee a little further. Take an inhale and lift the upper body up, straighten the left leg. Bring the hands back down to rest by your sides. Coming into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2, turn the right foot to face the back of the mat. The left foot now faces the side of the mat. Inhale, ensure the hips are staying facing forwards. As you exhale, bend the right knee, taking the right knee over the right ankle. Keep sending that right hip forwards and the left hip peels backwards. Evenly ground the body down between the left foot and the right foot. Turning the hips forwards, lift the torso up and away from the hips. Keeping the shoulders in line with each other, take the eye gaze across to the fingertips of the right hand. Take an inhale, lift up out of the crown of the head, and exhale, sink down in the hips, allowing the right knee to bend just a millimeter more deeper. On your next inhale, straighten the right leg and drop the arms. Turn the right foot forwards and the left foot to the left to face the front of the mat. Anchor the hips to turn forwards. Inhale the arms to a T. And exhale, bending the left knee to get that nice 45-degree angle. Left knee over left heel. Glance back. Check that the right hand is in line with the shoulder. Take the eye gaze back over to the fingertips of the left hand. Take a deep inhale, reach up out of the top of the head, and as you exhale, sink down in the hips. Trying to get that left knee to pull to the left so it sits over the left heel, whilst pulling back in that right hip, using the legs to open the hips. Inhale, reach up out of the top of the head, and as you exhale, reach the hands apart as though somebody's pulling on each hand from opposite sides. One more inhale, straighten the left leg and drop the arms as you turn back to the right. Bring the legs a little in, approximately one arm length. Turn the right foot to the back of the mat, the left foot's at a 45-degree angle. Keeping both legs straight for our intense side stretch, turn the hips and shoulders to turn to the back of the mat. Reach the arms back and around behind you, grabbing hold of the elbows from opposite hands. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, with a flat back, slowly bring down the body over the right leg. Take an inhale, reach out of the top of the head, and exhale, easing down, encouraging the belly to lay across the upper right thigh. Bring the eye gaze to the toes of the left foot, trying to keep a flat back. Don't be tempted to curl the head and the shoulders in. And if keeping the arms behind the back is too much for you today, just release the elbows and carefully bring the hands down to the ground to sit either side of the right foot, just to give you a little more balance and support. Inhale, reach long in the head, extend the spine, and exhale, pull in the belly button, encouraging the chest down towards the knee. Take an inhale, lift all of the body up as we come back up to standing, and release the arms, giving the shoulders a break. Turn the body all the way around to the front of the mat. Left foot faces the front, right foot is now at a 45-degree angle. Take the hands behind your back, grabbing the elbows or possibly taking a reverse prayer. Inhale, lifting up in the spine. Exhale, slowly allowing the body to fold over the left leg. Left leg stays straight. Inhale, reach long in the head, extend the spine. Exhale, keeping the shoulders pulled back, encouraging that chest towards the knee. Keep the eye gaze at the ground, don't tuck the head in, keeping a long, flat spine. Inhale, reach out of the crown of the head. Exhale, pull in the belly button, make space for the fold. Pull back the left hip and enjoy the hamstring stretch all the way down the back side of the left leg. And take an inhale to come back up to standing. Turn to face the side of the mat and allow the hands to relax. Maybe take a shoulder roll just to open up the shoulders again. And gently make your way down to the mat to come into seated. Allow the legs out long ahead of you. Place the hands on the ground either side of the hips, palms down. Press into the ground and straighten the elbows. Lift up in the head and press down into the ground with the hands, making space between your ears and your shoulders. Dandasana, staff pose. Maybe take a head roll here as we allow the neck some flexion and extension. And let everything relax back to the ground as we move the hands about 6 inches behind the shoulders, still palms facing down, coming into Purvatasana, upward plank. Press into the heels as the hips raise up from the ground. All the weight is between the hands and the heels. Keeping the arms straight, lift the hips, trying to make that nice straight line all the way from the shoulders down to the tips of the toes. Pull in the navel, tuck the pelvis, keeping the pelvis nice and raised. Keep the legs straight and press down in the toes, trying to get all of the soles of the feet on the ground. Take a deep inhale and exhale, lifting the hips a little higher. Hold the pose firm, keep the navel engaged. Take one more inhale and exhale, bring the hips back down, lifting the head and the neck safely. Turn to the side of the mat, extend the right leg out long, bend the left knee and pull the left heel into the groin as tight as you possibly can. Flex the right foot, inhale, reach the arms up high overhead, turn the body to face the right foot, exhale, bringing the body down over the right leg, reach the arms long, trying to grab hold of the big toe and the little toes of the right foot if you can, or anywhere else down the leg. Inhale, reach out of the crown of the head. Exhale, using the hands to pull the body down, trying to get that belly to touch the thigh, encouraging the chest towards the knee, and eventually the head towards the shin. Take a deep inhale, find length in the spine, and exhale, bend the elbows. Try to pull the body down a little deeper into the stretch, making an effort for the left knee to go towards the ground, opening up that left hip. Take an inhale, roll the body back up to seated, and swap the legs around. Now the left leg is out long, and the right foot is pressed into the groin. Flex the left foot, inhale, sit up tall, rotate to the left, exhale, draw the body down over the left leg, reaching the hands out to grab hold of the big toe and the little toes of the left foot, or wherever you can reach on your left leg today. Take an inhale, reach long in the spine. Exhale, bend the elbows, draw the body down towards the left thigh. Take another inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale, Relax the chest down a little further towards that left knee. Keep using the breath to find a little bit more movement in this asana. And inhale, come back up to seated. Turn to face the front of the mat. Keep the left leg long, bend the right knee. Place the right foot on the right side of the left knee, sole facing down. Place the right hand on the ground, just outside of the right hip. Take an inhale, lift the left arm up overhead. Exhale, pull in the belly button to make space as you try to hook the left arm over the outer side of the right knee. Take another inhale, lift up out of the crown of the head. Exhale, twist the body to the right, taking the eye gaze over the right shoulder. Taking a few breaths here. Inhale, reach up out of the crown of the head. Exhale, encouraging that right shoulder a little bit more to the right side, opening the chest. Making an effort not to collapse into the right hand. Keep lifting along in the spine, supporting the body. Take another inhale, reach up out of the head. Exhale, unhook the left arm and rotate the body back to center. Straighten the right leg, bend the left leg. Place the left hand on the outside of the left hip. Inhale, reach the right hand up high. Exhale, pull in the belly button and hook the right arm around the outside of the left knee. Inhale, reach up out of the head. Exhale, turning the left shoulder and the eye gaze over to the left, opening up across the chest and feeling that amazing spinal twist. Take another inhale here and exhale, twisting a little deeper. Matsyendrasana, Lord of the Fishes. One more breath, and on your next inhale, reach up out of the head, unhook the right arm from the left leg, and rotate the body back around to center. Cross the legs, lean the body forwards up over the feet, and just find your way into prone position, all the way down onto the front side of the body. Place the hands palm down, right underneath the elbows. Top sides of the feet are on the ground. Activate the legs by pressing into the feet, lifting the knees from the ground. Inhale, lift the head, the chin, the shoulders and the chest away from the ground. Only the belly button remaining. Hands are on the ground purely for support and balance. You could actually move them away. All the strength here is using the lower back. Keep the shoulders rolled back and the elbows pulled behind you as though you're trying to reach your feet with your elbows. Keep the chin lifted and take the eye gaze up towards the ceiling or the sky. This is your Cobra, Bhujangasana. Feel each breath massage the abdominal organs, and on your next exhale, lower the upper body back down to the ground. Release the hands, bend each knee, take the arms out behind you and grab the outer edges of the ankles or the feet. Allow the chin to rest, exhale. Take an inhale, lift the head, the shoulders, the chest off of the ground and kick away with the legs into the hands. Come up into your bow pose. The more that you kick into the hands, the higher you're going to be able to lift the thighs off of the ground. The arms are the string of the bow, so keep them straight and taut throughout the asana. Chin is lifted, eye gaze goes up. One last inhale and exhale, release everything down to the ground. Let go of the ankles and let the feet drop down behind you. Take the chin out long ahead of you. Press the palms into the ground, tucking the little fingers under your thighs. Take an inhale. Lift the legs from the ground using the strength of the core and the lower back. Press the thighs, the knees, the ankles together, using all the strength of the body to keep the legs lifted. It only has to be a small distance from the ground to really feel the heat firing up from within you. Locust pose. And exhale, release the legs back down to the ground. Bring the hands up to the ribs for support as you push the body back up and come up onto the knees. Coming into our camel pose, knees are hip width distance apart, top side of the feet resting on the ground. Tuck the pelvis, shoulders are over hips, place the hands behind your back at the lower back, fingers facing down. Inhale, reach up out of the crown of the head and begin to arch backwards. First the upper back, the middle back, and the lower back, perhaps extending the hands down underneath you to grab hold of the heels. Wherever your hands are placed, find strength in the pelvis and send the hips forwards, aiming to get the hips over the knees. Lift the chest, expand across the ribs, and let the head roll back so the neck can fully relax in this pose. Staying here for several breaths, take a deep inhale and inhale into the rib space. Feel each muscle and each rib expand with the breath. And as you exhale, bring the chest up and over, safely going a little deeper into that back bend. On your next inhale, begin to find strength in the lower back, the middle back, and the upper back, bringing the hands to the hips and lifting the head. Sink the hips down to the heels, spread the knees wide, and carefully, gently walk the hands forwards, slowly bowing the body down into child's pose. Breathe in and breathe out. Slowly walk the hands back up to come back up to seated. Lean the body to the left as you unhook the right leg from underneath you and take it out ahead. Keep the left leg tucked underneath. Bend the right knee and use the hands to gently lift and place the right foot in the crease of the left hip. Slide the left leg to the left of the hips so that the left hip is resting on the ground. Depending on your flexibility, you may find that placing a rolled blanket or a yoga block under the right knee will allow the left hip to meet the floor. Keep hold of the right foot with the left arm. Take the right arm around behind you and see if you can grab hold of the left foot with the right fingertips. Allow the left hand to relax over the right knee. Inhale, reach up out of the crown of the head. Exhale, rotate and twist the body to the right side. Using the breath to increase your range of movement just a fraction. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, turning that right shoulder back just a little further. Keep pressing down in that left hip, ensuring that it meets the ground, and at the same time, open the right hip by encouraging that right knee towards the ground. Take one last inhale, reach up out of the hip. Exhale, rotate back to center, unhook the right foot from the left hip, and switch the legs around so that the right leg is tucked underneath, slightly outside of the right hip. Bend the left knee, use the hands to lift the left leg up and place the left foot into the right hip crease. Make sure that the right hip is still on the ground. Take the left arm back behind you and grab hold of the right foot with the left hand. Place the right hand over the left knee. Inhale, reach up out of the crown of the head. Exhale, turning the left shoulder back and behind you, eye gaze comes over the left shoulder. Using the breath, inhale, reach up tall in the spine. Exhale, turn the body, twist a little bit more to the left. Breathe in and breathe out. One last breath. Inhale, reach up out of the head. Exhale, turn back to center. Use the hands to allow the left foot away from the hips. Bring both feet in front of you. Join the heels, the balls of the feet and the toes together. Interlock the fingers and hook them over the ends of the feet. Bend the knees generously and use your hands to pull the heels into the groin. Take an inhale, roll back the shoulders, lift up out of the crown of the head. And exhale. Allow gravity to do the work here. as the hips very slowly and gently begin to open. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Should you need a little extra push today, you can use your elbows at the crease of your hips to apply very gentle pressure to encourage the hips to open a little more. Take an inhale, lift up out of the crown of the head, roll the shoulders down and back. Exhale, send the breath all the way down to the hips, envisioning them opening that little bit more. Take this hip opener a little further. Inhale, reach up out of the crown of the head. Exhale, with a flat back, allow the chest and upper body to lean forwards over the front of the feet. Using the breath, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, go a little deeper. On your next inhale, lift up the body, take the hands to the outside of the knees and support the knees as you pull them back into each other. Take the feet as wide apart as you feel comfortable with. Keep the heels on the ground and flex the feet. Inhale, lift up in the spine. Exhale, lean the upper body forwards over the hips. Take the hands out in front of you, or even take the hands out to grab hold of the big toes if you are able to reach them. Inhale, reach up out of the crown of the head, keeping a flat back and a long spine. Exhale, pull in the belly button, using the hands either on the ground, pulling the ground towards you, or grabbing hold of the toes or anywhere down the legs and bending the elbows to encourage your forward fold a little deeper. Complete inhale, reach long in the spine. Exhale, folding down, encouraging the chest a little further towards the ground. One more inhale and lift the upper body back up to center. Take a small bend in the knees to protect the hips as you bring the legs back together again. Keeping the knees bent and the feet on the ground, lower down so that your back is on the mat. Reach the arms out long next to you and pull the feet back underneath your knees so that your fingertips can just touch the back of your heels. With palms facing down on the ground, take an inhale. Press into the feet as the pelvis lifts, bringing up the hips as high as you can, coming into your bridge pose. Option here to take the hands together underneath you, interlocking the fingers, and shift the body so that you tuck the shoulder blades underneath you, giving you that space to lift the hips up just a couple more inches. Keep bringing the knees together, try not to let them splay out apart. All the strength is in the heels and the shoulders. Take an inhale, feel the chest open and stretch. Exhale, keep the strength in the thighs as the hips stay up high, using the breath to stay strong in the pose. Breathe in, breathe out. One more inhale, lifting the hips high. Exhale, undo the fingers from each other, allow the hands to separate and bring the hips back down to the ground. Coming into wheel next, a more intense back bend. If this is not within your practice today, come into another bridge. If joining me for wheel, place the palms down, secure the feet to the ground, inhale, lift up the hips, continue the inhale all the way up as you lengthen the arms and straighten the elbows. Holding firm here, pull in the navel. Keep the arms straight and increase the back bend by gently trying to straighten the legs. Always keeping the feet glued to the ground, try not to make any adjustments in your wheel. One more inhale, feel the stretch across the ribs. Exhale, pulling in the navel and the ribs to the chest. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, begin to unravel your wheel. Bend the elbows, tuck the chin to the chest, and drop the hips down to the ground. One breath in, and one breath out. Take another inhale, and begin to lift the knees up from the ground. Completely exhale, empty out all the air in the lungs, reach the arms around the knees, and grab hold of opposite elbows. Ensure the shoulder blades stay down on the ground and tuck the chin into the chest, feeling a nice stretch all the way down the spine. Using this pose to steady the breath, inhale and exhale, pressing the hips down into the ground whilst holding the knees tightly into the chest. Making as small a position as possible with your body, tuck everything in, draw the knees into the chest tightly with your arms, and then pull the hips down towards the mat. One more inhale, exhale, allow the head to relax down. Untie the arms and place the feet on the ground. Bring the feet up over the hips, coming into waterfall as we start our inversions. Allowing the blood to change direction, take a moment here to steady the breath and relax the mind. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Trying to keep the legs straight, send the knees towards the front of the mat and flex the feet. Take an inhale, press into the hands, lift the feet and the hips up and over towards the head. Coming into almost a plow pose. Use this moment to interlock the fingers and adjust the shoulders underneath you as we did in bridge pose. Keeping the elbows locked to the ground, lift the hands up so that they sit just at the top of the hips. Engage the legs, straighten the legs, lift the feet up over the hips, coming into your supported shoulder stand. Aiming to get the feet over the hips, but if this causes any pain or discomfort in the wrists or the elbows, bring the feet a little bit more towards the head. It may just be that the elbows are a little too far apart, or it's just causing too much strain for you today. Either way, having the feet up over the head is giving us the same benefits of the inversion. Take another inhale, pull in the navel. Exhale, allow the legs to drop back down, coming towards the head. Now readjust the hands as we come into full shoulder stand. Just gently walk the hands up the back as we lift the hips a little bit more over the shoulders. Once we're comfortable with our hand positioning, inhale and gradually bring the feet back up over the hips, keeping the legs engaged by locking the knees. Tuck the chin to the chest. Avoid looking around in this pose as we want to protect the neck. Once you find your balance and your position in this pose, start to steady the breath. Try to increase the depth and the length of the breath as we try to find calm and stillness in our inversion. Deep inhale in and exhale out. Take an inhale, exhale, pull in the navel and allow the legs to slowly and gently come back towards the head, dropping the knees towards the forehead, coming into plow. If your feet are able to reach the ground, allow them to rest on the earth, straightening the legs if you can, trying to get the hips over the shoulders. Keep the arms out long, place the palms on the ground, using them for support should you want to come out of the pose. Take a few long, deep breaths here, keeping that chin tucked into the chest. Don't be tempted to look around or speak. Protect the neck, protect the vocal cords. Deep breath in and deep breath out. On your next inhale, press into the ground with your arms. Use the strength of the core to lift the legs away from the floor as we come out of our plow. Lowering down as slowly as you can, first the upper back, the middle back, and finally the lower back, allowing the legs to rest down onto the ground. Coming into our fish pose, our last asana of the sequence. Come up onto the elbows, allow the legs to reach out long ahead of you. Lift up the chest, roll the head and the neck back so the crown of the head rests on the ground. Feel that release in the back of the neck, the upper back, and the middle back. If you wish to take it further, bring the arms out ahead of you, palms touching, reach the arms long. Engage the legs, tuck the thighs together, the knees and the ankles, and using the strength of the core, lift the legs from the ground. Hold the pose. Take an inhale, exhale, bring the legs down, and then followed by the arms. Keeping the crown of the head on the ground, lift the chest and open the neck. Take another inhale and exhale. Press into the elbows to lift the chest, the neck and the head from the ground, and slowly ease yourself back down, each vertebrae one at a time, as you come back down to the mat. Lie back, gently close your eyes, take a deep inhale and exhale. Surrender the body down to the ground. Gently roll the head slightly left and then right and then left until you find that perfect spot for the head to rest. Take each foot out to the far corners of the mat and allow the ankles to roll away from the body, opening across the hips. Create some space between the body and the arms and turn the palms up towards the sky. Feel the shoulders open, creating space across the collarbone. Take notice of your breathing, of the speed of the breath, the depth and the volume of it, of where in the body the breath is starting from. Begin to initiate the breath in the abdomen. Take an inhale and feel the belly completely inflate and fill with air. Exhale, the belly relaxes back down. Take another inhale into the abdomen. Extend out the belly as much as you can. Feel the skin stretch. And exhale. Notice the hips open and relax a little more. Continue breathing in this way. Each breath is intentional. Each breath becoming longer and deeper. Inhale. The breath is becoming longer. It starts to move up and inflate the lower ribs. Exhale, perhaps pulling in the belly button to the spine to get the last of the air out of the lungs. Inhale again. The breath is longer still. The abdomen fills and the belly presses into your t-shirt. Exhale. Surrender completely to the mat. The body feels heavier still as you sink a little deeper. Breathe in, beginning to count the inhales. See how many seconds it takes to inhale into the abdomen, filling the belly, moving up and filling the lower ribs. Exhale, pulling in the ribs and pulling the belly button into the spine. Continue at your own natural breathing pattern, gradually increasing the depth of the breath as you slowly inflate to fill the belly, the lower ribs, the upper ribs, even the collarbone lifts. And exhale, everything relaxes. All of the focus and the awareness on the breath, the depth, the volume, the speed. The movement of the breath through the body, in and out. Last couple of breaths here in Savasana. Enjoy every last moment. Be aware of every part of the body and allow everything to relax. Slowly starting to come back into our bodies and aware of our surroundings, wiggling the fingers, the toes, Maybe taking some wrist circles and ankle circles, easing ourselves back. Take an inhale, lift the arms up overhead, full body stretch. And exhale, rolling over onto the side. Lying here in this fetal position for a couple of moments, taking notice of this change of position, how it feels in your body, keeping the eyes closed. Take a couple of breaths here. And whenever you're ready, using the upper arm, place the hand on the ground and push the body up, coming back to seated, keeping the eyes closed. Find your comfortable seated position. Roll the shoulders back to expand across the chest and lift up out of the head. Taking a breath here. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, bring palms together, prayer pose. Rub the palms together quickly, create friction and heat, and place the palms over the eyes. Gently open the eyes inside the palms, take the palms away, let the daylight in. Bring the hands back together in front of the heart and bow down to the ground on your exhale to close off the practice. Thank you for joining me today. See you next time. Namaste. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed practicing with me, please be sure to hit the subscribe button below so that you can see the future videos as soon as they're posted. Thank you for your support. See you soon.